all the breast lumps are not cancer.
Exactly, exactly.
All the white discharge per vagina is not CA cancer cervix.
Exactly, exactly.
So we have preventive measures, we have preventive tests, we have detect screening tests. She has other things also to do. You
Right.
focus on those things. These things we are there to take care of. But don't mentally harass her so much or emotionally succumb her so that she will not able to live her life properly.
Absolutely. A very warm welcome to all for Chat Show with Sumona. Today, 8th March, International Women's Day. The entire world is celebrating the achievements of women and advocating for all women and girls' right and equity. On the special day, we have a special guest with us, Dr. Mohini Sinha. Welcome, Dr. Mohini.
Thank you, Sumana. Thank you for calling me.
So, Mohini, you are from a beautiful city of Assam, Dibrugarh.
Yeah.
The city which is known for its tea states and beautiful scenic beauty. So, from there, the little Mohini, how turned out to be a doctor specializing in gynecology and laparoscopic surgery. So it might have taken a lot of efforts, lot of hard work, lot of courage. So we and our audience would love to hear the journey that you have taken, how the little Mohini from the small city become a Dr. Mohini Sinha, gynecologist, laparoscopic surgeon.
Actually, the journey was very beautiful. Dibrugarh is near to my heart. It is my place. So once I entered in that medical college in 2007, I was too young that time. So Assam Medical College itself is a very beautiful college, one of the oldest college in India, and the name of that college was John Berry White Medical School.
Mm-hmm.
So, and first time X-ray was introduced in that college only during
Okay.
British time.
Wow.
So it has its own legacy, it
Mm-hmm.
has its own history. So once we see that gate of Assam Medical College and we entered into that gate,
A
we
different feeling
entered, yeah,
altogether.
the feeling was totally different, and we realized the responsibility
Hmm.
what we are carrying.
True.
Being a girl and going to a medical profession itself was not so easy at that time, because my family background was like that. In all my cousins and all my sibling and my sibling, my brother, everyone opted for engineering, but my father was like, no, I want my daughter to become a doctor.
Great.
So by default I entered in that. So behind my this Dr. Mohini, my father's contribution is there, because he wanted and I was also
He
interested.
inspired you.
Yeah, he inspired me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I entered in that medical college. It was really a very beautiful journey. That time we didn't have so much advancement in medical education. Like we didn't have social media, no online classes, nothing like that. And there were old British time corridors in that medical college. We walk through those corridors. We sit inside the classroom that was made by the British them time, made
Okay.
in British time. So and our teachers also, they, most of the teachers in that college were from that college only. They
Okay.
studied, because in Assam there were three medical colleges only that time: Guwahati, Dibrugarh, and one in Silchar. So they were also carrying one legacy. From the very beginning they disciplined us, and one very important thing and one very inspiring thing what I got from that medical college was to respect a woman colleague.
Mm-hmm.
Our senior professors, so many female professors were there
Mm-hmm.
in that college, and they were getting equal opportunity, rather they were getting better treatment than the male colleagues.
Absolutely.
So that place itself has a very good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Even now also, if you will go to that Assam Medical College, the vibe will be totally, you get will be totally different, because that is really a female dominating matlab, place.
That's wonderful to
So
hear that from that period itself, so much of advancement was there in the college, and that has actually shaped up your thoughts.
yeah.
So, what made you to take gynecology per se as a specialization?
Actually, that is also very interesting journey. When I was doing my, I started with my MBBS. I was thinking I'll never become a
Oh,
gynecologist. That was my thought at the very beginning. So time passed and I started studying. Once I completed my MBBS, I had to go for that specialization. So I had to think कि what I have to take. That was one thing. And because what subject we are taking in a specialization, that will become your life.
right.
So my personality was, I was like I can't stay calm. I can't matlab stay. I don't want so much comfort. That
Mhm.
was in my personality. So I thought I cannot take any subject where I have to sit, I have to work, and I have to matlab,
You enjoy a
not
lot of
interact with
activity.
patients.
Yeah,
Like few paraclinical subjects are, they are very good subjects, highly earning subjects, radiology, pathology, these subjects are there. But I thought ki no, I am not fit for that subject. That was my personality. Then next very important thing, uh, I was inclined towards medicine, as well as I was inclined towards the surgical subject.
right.
So during my internship, while I was going for that gynae posting, I saw so many women
Mm.
coming from the tea gardens. They were tea garden workers, and Assam has one of the highest maternal mortality that time. So
Oh,
I was seeing the poor condition of those women coming to that. They were getting referred from far away. So as a woman, if that time I thought, as a woman, if I'll
can
serve for
contribute.
women,
Right, right,
so
absolutely.
that only clicked in my mind. But the thing was, I had to appear for one entrance exam.
Of course.
According to my rank, I will get. Whether I'll get or not, that was also questionable. But it was in my mind. The inception of being a gynecologist, that came that time only, when I was in internship and I was working in
Seeing the
gynecology.
real patient over there
Yeah,
and their
treating
suffering,
and
and being a woman, if we could
yeah,
do kind of contribute anything
contribute,
towards that.
because so many women you will see in society, they are not getting so much freedom. They are not able to express themselves what they feel. So I thought ki if I'll become a gynecologist, I'll handle directly with the female, and anyway, I directly or indirectly I will try to make them, give them some voice. So that was the idea. Thankfully, by God's grace, I appeared for the entrance exam, that NEET PG exam, and I got gynecology.
Great, great, great. So, this is really wonderful to hear that you started with your father's inspiration that you should go for MBBS, and then they're seeing the patients, the ladies, the women who are coming to your hospital. You realize that gynecology is a subject which could help you to serve these people who belongs to your cadre, right? Being a woman, you are the one who can best address their requirement.
Yeah.
So, on that line, my next question would be to you is, uh, in the past so many years, we have seen there is a lot of advancement has happened in different fields of medicals. So, and as such a society has also those things earlier, it has been considered as impossible. Now it's a common thing. But do you see the similar kind of change in the perspective of women health? For example, as you have said earlier, the maximum mortality rate in your Assam Medical College, what you have evidenced, is very high.
In
Uh,
state of Assam, the
in state of
maternal
Assam.
mortality was
Yeah, the
highest
kind
there.
of patient
Hmm.
load you were
Hmm.
seeing, that
Hmm.
there were complications, there
Hmm.
were
Hmm.
maternal
Hmm.
mortality. Though in the past decade,
Hmm.
the maternal mortality has been reduced, tremendously
Yeah.
reduced, but still there are some gaps are there. And more importantly, what I would love to know from you, earlier it was like the women health is always takes a backseat, whether it has taken a priority. Now the proactiveness is there or not, whether being a normal gynec condition, or you say during the pregnancy, the requirement of ANC, are they able to appreciate it? And the various myth that is around the society, that for example, one what I generally come across is that if a pregnant woman take vitamins and good food, the baby will grow bigger, and during the delivery it will be a problem and you have to go to the C-section, so you better don't take. And many women are advised like that. So do you see these changes is happening in the society? Being a gynecology, you are interacting with so many patients. What is your opinion on that?
Actually, over the time that has decreased,
Hmm.
but still there is gap. But still there is gap. I must say, it has nothing to do with rural, urban,
Hmm.
any ethnicity, any background. But what I feel nowadays, that gap has reduced. Nowadays, people are giving priority to women health, and the women as a, what I can say, ki they are also getting their own voice. They can come and they can talk. Earlier, for minor things like for some infection, genital tract infection, they hesitate to come to OPD. But nowadays, if you are sitting in OPD, our KIMS OPD is running like anything. We have very good load of patients. But majority of women who have some infection and who have some problem, that common problem what they face during their reproductive ages, menstrual problem or some problems related with their hygienic condition, they are coming and they are speaking even from the rural area also. But still there are some gaps, still there are some gaps, and we have to work for that,
Mm-hmm.
because if we will not encourage them, what happens in OPD, one, if a girl is coming, along with that girl her mother is also coming. So how the mother is treating the girl, that is important. Few parents will come and they will say कि my daughter has exams ma'am and she is facing this problem, you give some medicine so that she can attend her classes.
Right.
And so we can counsel the girl कि this is what is the problem, if it is major, minor, or she should not worry for that, we counsel the girl. But few parents, I stopped her college, I stopped her school, she is staying home because she is having this problem, how will she get married? This type of parents are also coming, this type of mothers are also coming. So for them, we have to say, if you are not able to think about
So,
your
so the
own,
empathy for your daughter is not with you.
you,
You are thinking, you are not focusing on the major concern that your daughter has some health issues,
yeah,
instead of focusing how she will get
get
married or
married,
how she will
yeah.
attend her
And with
colleges.
all the gynecological problem, what they think, there will be some problem in her married life or there will be some reproductive issue.
Hmm.
That is their main concern. So what we say, कि she has other things also to do. You
Right.
focus on those things. These things we are there to take care of. But don't mentally harass her so much or emotionally succumb her so that she will not able to live her life properly.
Absolutely. So basically, for the adolescent girls, it is more than a treatment. It is the counseling which is important.
Yeah,
Treatment, of course, is important part, but unless and until we have the counseling, and being a gynecologist, if you don't show that empathy, it is very difficult or challenging for them, because a
sure.
family member may not be able to understand
Hmm.
as a doctor the way you understand. So that becomes a very great responsibility for the doctors.
So that is why nowadays what is happening even in a village also, so many things are available in social media. Very small example I am giving you, Shumona, is the example of polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Hmm.
That is very much common in adolescent girls. Nowadays what we have, our lifestyle, our food habit, or some genetic factors are also there. These are responsible for
Right.
that entity, that syndrome. So it is not like nowadays only PCOS is happening. Earlier also, but everyone, they are looking at the social media. They are seeing some reels and they are taking their daughter. Even if she has 10th exam, board exam, ma'am, she has all the symptoms of PCOS. Let the PCOS remain. We are there to treat or we are there to counsel, but let her focus, because what is happening now? This social media is two-edged sword.
Right.
So if you are
Absolutely.
giving the
Absolutely.
correct information, so that correct information will give voice, will give strength to the person. But if they will get so much indulged in that, that will ruin their life.
Exactly, because it is really difficult nowadays time to differentiate in the social media what is coming is right or just for the sake of the popularity has been
Yeah,
published.
because the mentality has not changed. Their main aim is her married life as well as her reproductive life, and there they are getting some spices from the media that she is slightly obese, she is eating junk food, so she has, and by chance she skipped one cycle, that will be disastrous for that girl.
Exactly, exactly. And this is not only for the girls, even for the women who are independently living. This social media create a lot of scares about the cancer. See, for right now, as you said, the POCT is a common thing. Similarly, the cancer like breast cancer and cervical cancer is also, the prevalence rate is going high. And the social media creating a lot of scares over the women that this symptom, if you are having this symptom, this might be a cancer. And since being a naive women who doesn't understand this medical terminology, she is living in a scare. And and cancer is something which nobody wants to get detected. So on that aspect, what would be your suggestion for these women who think are getting scared by seeing all these social media messages and thinking that they are one of the victim of this?
That is the first and foremost responsibility of a gynecologist. Being a female gynecologist, what female or male, leave it. Being a gynecologist, if a woman is coming to you with so much fear regarding anything, any gynecological problem, you give her a clear cut and a correct information.
True.
She will go back home and then she will teach other women surrounding her. Okay, so this is our social responsibility
So do you
nowadays.
do such kind of outreach program or awareness programs?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do such programs also, and Shumona, when you told me that we are going to shoot that podcast, I was one of the motive behind this program is also that through this program I can spread some awareness.
True.
So it is not like cancer is increasing. Cancer is increasing, but the detection rate is also increasing. Earlier, what was happening? The detection was not so high.
Early detection was
Yeah,
not happening.
early detection also was very difficult. So many undetected cases were there.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the rate of detection is increasing, but we have to detect is early, and we can get some high risk factors where we can prevent also. We have some preventive measures. I'm always supporter of prevention, and as well as I want to spread awareness so that any woman will not get such disease. But this doesn't mean that you will not live your life.
True.
Even if you are getting a small breast lump, you go to the gynecologist, listen to her. All the breast lumps are not cancer.
Exactly. Exactly.
All the white discharge per vagina is not CA cancer cervix.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we have preventive measures, we have preventive tests, we have detect screening tests. So
And symptoms are common. It is not that this symptoms means it is detected cancer. This
exactly.
can be because of some other things.
Some other thing also. So go and get the correct information before threatening someone.
Exactly.
Especially young girls, they have one very common condition in young girls is a fibroadenoma of breast. That is a benign breast lump, and when a woman girl gets that breast lump very small size, she will obviously tell that to her mother, and her mother will think she is going to develop CA breast only. And they will come and they will say, ma'am, you do that surgery, remove that. We counsel them, this will not require any surgery. If it is of a small size, we are there to do all the tests. By medicines also we can handle it. You just, but they remain scared. So these things they have to understand that. So from social media only, from Google only, you will not get all the information. You go to the expert, talk with the expert, and then you will get the correct path.
True. So as you have mentioned that early diagnosis, you are a you really advocate or you support that the early diagnosis is important. So beside the cancer and other treatment, as you are being a gynecologist, so lot of pregnant women might be coming to you, and many cases you might have seen that they are skipping lots of ANCs. they are skipping the test, even if it has been prescribed, they are not coming back with the result, which might lead to a high risk pregnancy which would have been identified earlier, but since because of not taking the ANCs or the diagnosis properly, they turned up to be a case where you are not left with any other option but treating it as an emergency, which would have been prevented if it would have been detected early. So are you coming across such cases?
Yeah, we are coming across such cases in day-to-day life.
So initial ANCs, are they taking it seriously or not, and how seriously they should take the initial ANCs?
Actually, antenatal checkup has improved a lot
Mm-hmm.
over the years, but now still there are sufficient gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and why these gaps are there? Because of the social myth. Well, what they will say, in village or in society, there are few so-called very knowledgeable women are there. They will tell them ultrasound is not good for
True.
baby.
I have heard a lot about it.
Ultrasound is not good. Why are you going for so many tests? So there are fixed protocol of test that you have to go with. You have to do that those tests, then only we can assess whether you are going to develop some complication or not. Few ultrasounds are mandatory throughout the pregnancy. Minimum 3 ultrasound we need to do.
Okay.
If the woman has some high risk, we may need to do 4 or 5, but 3 ultrasound we need to do to know whether the baby is fine or not, whether the baby is developing some abnormalities, or the growth is restricted or anything, whatever. So you have to go with those. It is not like you have come and Sumona, it is very common. If we will tell them, there is one very important ultrasound is there, that is NT scan, that we do between 11 to 13 weeks. Okay,
Yes.
so we first, when women come in first trimester, we say do one basic sonography to know whether the heartbeat is present or not, or the gestational sac is properly placed in uterus or not. They do. Then we call them ki you come after 1 month approximately. They come at 7 weeks. 7 plus 4, 11 weeks.
Right.
So we call them, you come after 1 month and we'll do one ultrasound. Matlab you, in so many cases you will see they will not turn up.
And this is
And they think
basically,
1 month back ma'am has done ultrasound 1 month. What will happen in this 1 month? The baby will not grow so fast. Why she is calling us?
and this is basically for the abnormalities to
Yeah,
detect, right?
one very common abnormality or that can be prevented is the neural tube defect. We will
Mhm.
diagnose that by doing one test, that one scan, that is NT scan, between 11 to 13 weeks.
So it is very important for all the audiences over there that uh, these kind of ultrasounds is not impacting the baby. In fact, it determines whether your doctor could do something to prevent anything wrong that might happen or might be possible. So if we don't do the scan, then we will miss it out. So whenever it is being suggested or prescribed by your doctor, please do go and visit and do your ultrasounds. So this is some common problems that you are facing, and what I understand from you, that there is a lot of patient footfall in your hospital, then you have your clinic also, then you are a mother of a beautiful girl. So being a woman, how you are balancing out everything, and especially there are certain occasions where it becomes very challenging, like the COVID. As a frontline worker, you can't sit back like rest of the world was doing. You have to be there and work, and your daughter is there, patients are there, your clinic is there. So how you managed, how you balancing out the entire life?
Sumona, actually the thing is ki now I am mother of 2 daughters.
Oh, wow.
My younger one is going to be 2 years
Mhm.
in March. So, and especially you said COVID time, during first wave of COVID, my elder daughter was just 1 year old.
Oh,
Okay, and our hospital started dedicated COVID hospital
yes,
with maternal
yes.
care first time in Odisha.
Hmm.
It was KIMS. We started with the 550 bed
So
with,
COVID diagnosed pregnant women
yeah,
to be
where
treated.
to be treated,
Okay.
delivery, everything was done here only. And I was posted in COVID hospital. So during first wave, we were also scared because what has come, we were also unaware of all the facts. So, and my daughter was 1 year, and there was no option. Someone has to go. So, either matlab, it was divided like 15 days, 15. You cannot stay there for 6 months. So it was also not advisable. So everyone were getting duty. So I also got duty like that. Ki I had to go for COVID duty. So COVID duty was like you have to work for 21 days and then 15 days quarantine. After your tests will come negative, then only you
Again
come
you'll
back
come.
home.
Right. Okay. So total for 35 days you will be
35
away
40
from
days
home.
you will stay away from home. If by chance one test will come positive, again 15 days you will have to stay in quarantine. So this was the scene in first wave. I worked in all three waves.
Oh.
First wave COVID, I worked in COVID hospital.
But stringency was reduced, I guess, in the second
Yeah,
and the third
second
wave.
wave we used to come back home.
Hmm.
Matlab after our duties, we did our test and we came back home, and we also got vaccinated also. So first wave was really very scary for
Very
me.
tough also.
Yeah, yeah. And my husband said, ki, yeah, you will have to go. But I'm telling you, Sumona, ki even if whatever we are doing, we should not be, matlab, I am a doctor, I am a gynecologist, and from my family also I got lots of support. My husband is also a doctor, and when I got that notice that I have to go for that COVID duty, my husband said within a minute, he said, yeah, you go, no problem. Then who will take care of my daughter? Say, we are here. I am going to, though he was also going to hospital. So yeah, I am going to hospital, but I can come back home. I'll take care of her. Don't worry. My mother-in-law, she is really, what is a blessing for me. She has taken care of my daughter. I mean, till now, she is the only person because we need some helping hand.
Of course, of course.
Some helping hand. And
And whom you can trust
whom,
more than your mother.
yeah, yeah. So she also said, ki, yeah, you, if you have to go, you go. We are here. And don't worry, go. You take care of yourself. So I went for that COVID posting. So in first wave, all the patients from all over Odisha were coming to KIMS COVID hospital.
Because first hospital.
Yeah, first hospital that started maternity care. So from Baleshwar, Baripada, and all Sundarpada, everywhere, patients were coming to KIMS. And if you refer a patient from a long distance, what happens? The complications also increases.
Yes, yes.
Because the travel time was also,
Yes.
and COVID patient travel time. It is not traveling of a patient, other patient.
Yes.
She is COVID positive. So many stigma was also associated that time. So it was like, it was really a roller coaster, right? Morning we used to go, we give rounds, then we enter inside with that PPE inside OT, we sweat like anything. One day, what happened? You cannot be. I came out of that COVID hospital after finishing one cesarean section. I went to where we were staying. The one separate arrangement was made. I just went inside the room. First, when we enter into our room, we go for a bath. Then after that only we can touch anything.
Yeah, that was the protocol.
That was the protocol. So after doffing, so when I entered in, again I got a call that once emergency patient has come. I ran, and with me, my postgraduate students were there. Three of us ran. So again we have to go for that donning, that PPE kit. So in donning room only, I fell down.
Oh.
I fell down. And by chance, my pediatrician fellow, matlab she is a pediatrician. She also has to go inside
Of course.
to receive baby. So she was also donning. She said, "Where is Mohini?"
Oh.
Then she saw someone fell down. This is because in PPE kit you cannot recognize.
Right.
So when we enter inside the hospital, we write our name on backside. But that time I was donning and I fell down, so the name was also not written. So then she lifted me. Oh, you are Mohini. Then they took me to that. There was one recovery room there. Say, and then I had juice and all. I stayed there. I told my PGs, you go and prepare the patient inside. I'll be going. Then I had biscuit, glucose, lots of glucose biscuit and glucose I took. I went inside, I did cesarean, I came back. So
Commendable, commendable. Actually, this is
those were the
this is
days.
how the respect for doctors is stemmed out of this, because see, she was not well, she is already have done one C-section and coming out, and it is now it has her turn for the rest. And being a gynecology, this is not set ki this is the time when you are going to operate. For example, cardiologist and all, they have a set timing ki this time they are going for the operation. But in case of the pregnancy or the gynecology, times are not
No.
set. You might have to come out at the night and do the C-section, or
Yeah.
you have to get the delivery done. So there is no timing. But the great thing that she has told us, she has a very supportive family, and having a supportive family is one of the requirement
Yeah, yeah,
for all the
obviously.
women to succeed. So in the society, it is for the entire society to understand that when we are progressing, we are developing, we are giving education to our daughters, it is our moral responsibility to support her. Because after all this education, it is her professional life where she also need our support. And at that time, if we are not standing behind her, who will support her? How she will progress? The entire sacrifices, entire effort she has put during her education will go waste. So, on this context, though I am enjoying this conversation so much, but everything needs to end. So, if I consider that we are concluding our conversation, what would be your message to the young girl, to the women, as a gynecologist, as a mother, as a woman? How do you think how they should handle the challenges? What are the things where they should not feel that I am lesser than anybody else?
What I can say now, it is all about your willpower, and especially to all the young girls. I always talk with young girls very often wherever I get, and I just want to tell them, be independent. Be independent professionally, financially, and emotionally. And stick to your fundamentals. Be clear with your relationships. Because if you will respect yourself, other people will respect you.
True, absolutely.
So never, never, ever you just make your self-esteem low. Just keep yourself at upper level. If you are at 2, you think like 4. I am telling you, especially for girls, never ever in your life. And challenges are there. Life is full of challenges, full of challenges. I am telling you, if you have, you can see success of a person, you cannot see so many failures behind that. So try to accept those failure and try to get up, because failure is also part of life. If you fail once, never ever give up. Never ever
Absolutely,
in your
absolutely,
life. Never ever in your life. I'm telling you, because this only will teach you how to succeed.
absolutely.
And I really want all the girls to do very good. Don't become doctor, whatever you feel like.
Yeah,
You just live your life like anything. Just be what you are.
right. Live your dreams and confidence. That is the key for all the girls that has come from Dr. Mohini. Thank you, Dr. Mohini, for giving your time and helping our audience to understand various aspects of gynecology and what are important, and encouraging the girl for living their dreams. Thank you. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Thanks, Sumana.